Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Spiritual Journey podcast. My name is Nimesh Radia, and I'm your host. I've loved starting every episode by saying thank you. Thank you if you're a regular listener. Thank you if you're new to the podcast. My objective when I started was really to guide people on their journey. And with all the messages I get, everything I receive on a weekly basis, it's clear that this podcast is having that impact. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I am an Akashic record reader, Akashic trainer, podcast host, podcast creator, and a spiritual coach and mentor. I love guiding people on their journey. I love holding your space while you truly understand why you're here. I love what I get to do. I spent many years in the corporate world. I left that space to do what I love. So my voice resonates, please reach out. And talking about my voice, if my voice is a little different this time, maybe a bit husky, I've got a bit of a sore throat, and I guess, physically we're all going through something, or at least a lot of us are. I guess my physical body's going through it too, but I still wanted to show up. Still wanted to record this episode. And so this episode, the question I get asked most recently is, what's my energy for 2026? I talk a lot about the next 12 months and what's coming, but I kind of don't always go super deep on it. I like to kind of focus on the current energy, because I really feel like the phase we're in, we're not supposed to know too much about what's coming in the long term. Yes, I talk about we're shifting from divine masculine to divine feminine. I'll talk more about that. But also, I feel like there's so many things coming that are going to surprise us. And, I'm not here to predict the future. I'm here to give you my read on what I feel like the energy is going to be over the next period of time. Time is a human concept, but intentionally, I'm going to try and focus on the energy of 2026. And this is not a caching message. This is still a channel message in many ways. I'm sure I'll connect with the records. But it's just my feeling. And so if we jump in, I talk a lot about switching to the divine feminine. And if I go deeper than that, what does that really mean? It means that we're shifting from an ego space, a head space, to a heartfelt. Shifting from I think to I feel. When I talk about masculine and feminine, I'm not talking about male and female. We all have masculine and feminine energy in us. It's about finding the balance between the two. But we've been focused on the masculine for such a long time, and masculine's all about egos, politics, wars, business, and individuals. And so the period we've been in is all about egos, right? The individuals. We put a lot of people on pedestals. The shift we're moving now into is more about community, still about you as an individual, but it's you as the individual that's important, not these individuals we put on a pedestal. And I feel like, and again, if I talk about the next 12 months, I feel like a lot of people that maybe we put on a pedestal, we're going to find out more information about. And I'm not saying it's good, bad, who knows, right? But it is a time for us to kind of just put it in one. It's a time to focus on you. It's a time not to look for our answers outside. It's a time to trust your heart. It's really move from control to trust. The human likes to control. It likes to plan. It likes to know what's coming next and have a plan. This isn't what this phase is. Which is why through this phase you may feel uncomfortable. If you're used to control, if you're used to planning, if you're used to wanting to know what's coming next, that's more the human than the spirit. But you've been asked to let go and trust. We're switching from force to flow, really trusting right and wave, being present. Yeah, we're still going to take action, but the action is more around self-care, looking after you. And yeah, over time, it'll be around taking action. And it may even be involved like things like changing career, change location. But this period we're in right now isn't about that. This period is really about being present, allowing this phase that we're in right now that I talk about as completion to complete, I guess is the best way of putting it. For me, January isn't really New Year, and you'll hear a lot of spiritual people talk about springtime being the new year. And I believe that too, energetically, right? It doesn't mean you can't use the energy of a new year to build momentum. But I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions. If you want to decide anything, decide to put you first. Pick things that allow you to put you first. And do things that lift your soul. Meditate, spend time in nature. And these aren't New Year's resolutions. These aren't something that you want to start and then, end in a couple of weeks. Time with you, time with meditation, time in journaling, time in has to be, well, again, from my perspective, everybody has free will, but it has to be a choice for the longer term, for this period. Because the more you don't do those sort of things, the more you're going to be in your head. And the more you're in your head, the more you'll struggle with this phase. And it's a muscle, right? It's like you've got to do things consistently. If you try and meditate and you sit there and, well, I can't meditate, it's because you haven't tried it enough. You've got to try different things. I mean, I always say sit in silence. And if a thought comes in, let it come, let it go. Try and sit in silence for 10 minutes a day, or at least 21 days, and see what it does to your internal. Or also, walk in nature, be present. Even go for a drive, be present. That's the thing. It's about being present. There isn't a quick fix. A lot of time we look for a quick fix. We look, give me a meditation, give me a course, give me this, give me that. And I'll be fixed. Even my mentorship, right? And people that sign up for mentorship, I'll always say, I'm here to guide. I'm here to hold your space. I'm not going to do the work for you because it's your journey. It's not even my job to tell you what to do. It's my job to guide you, to hold your space as you truly understand who you are. So the journey I take people is to really understand who they are. But there isn't. You have to do the work. Yes, you can. The way you smooth your journey is by the things I've already talked about: meditation, being present. But to kind of go back, we still, for the first few months, I still feel like we're closing out this phase that we're in. There's a lot of talk about the year of the horse, the year of the fire horse. 2025 was the year of the snake. And again, that was a clue. We were shedding so many layers, but we're still in the year of the snake. Chinese New Year is the middle of February. I think it's February 17th. And it's not like a light switch comes and all of a sudden everything changes. But, we will move into the year of the fire horse. And that it's an energetic shift. It gives you the opportunity to move forward using the energy of the horse. But you still, again, have to do the work. And then spring equinox, March 20th. That for me is the energy and the vibration of new beginnings. But again, it's easy. It'd be easy for you to say, you know what, I'm just going to wait for that and then wait for the new beginnings. And you still have to do the work now. You still have to look at your world and look at what are you done with? What parts of your world, maybe people, the things that you do regularly, what are you ready to let go of? Because you have to create space for new, right? But again, this, if I could put it in one sentence, the best thing to do right now is to be present. Because the planet's going through a shift, a bigger shift than it's ever been through. I feel anyway. And I feel like our soul has chosen to be here during this time. It means that we're shifting from divine masculine to divine feminine. You may hear it talk about shifting from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. You may hear me talk about ascension. Whatever human words we want to give it, because humans love a label. It really is about shifting. It's about shifting to a new dynamic. And I believe we all have a choice. We all have a choice. It's like no one's going to be excluded, but you have free will. Do you want to stay in the 3D? Do you want to stay in the mind? Do you want to stay, letting the outside world consume you? Or do you want to do the work and focus on the inside? That's really your choice. And, I do think, like I said, over the next 12 months, I do sometimes wonder, why do we need to go through so much pain as a planet? But I see the next 12 months as just the planet going through a lot of things, a lot of natural disasters. You've already seen it with a lot of wars. There's going to be a lot of egos that are trying to, make their mark, whatever that looks like. And the challenge with moving from divine masculine to divine feminine, the masculine us is in crisis, doesn't understand what's going on. And that's why you'll see a lot of people acting out. But it's also shifting. The planet is shifting. The hierarchy, just how we work on a day-to-day basis is shifting. But again, here's going to be your choice. There's going to be so much shifting on the planet. Where do you choose to focus? Do you choose to focus on your healing inside? Do you choose to focus on things that you can change? Or do you let the outside noise consume you? I'm not telling you not to get impacted by what's happening on the outside. I'm telling you not to let it consume you. Send love to wherever's needed. The other thing is, we're not here to fix everybody. So everybody's going to be going through something. And we're not here to stop people's pain. So again, if you focus on the outside, if you focus on other people and helping other people and not prioritizing yourself, that's going to come back on you. Again, I'm not telling you not to help other people. I'm telling you to make sure you help yourself first. And if you're helping other people, what's your intention? Because if your intention is for them to stop feeling pain, then their pain is going to help them grow. If they, again, sending so much love and light out, if medically I feel like people are going to go through things, I feel like there's going to be, as we go through a shift, a lot of people leaving this realm, whatever that means, right? Just a feeling I'm getting. But it is a lot of shifting. And again, it's going to be easy to let the outside noise consume you. But the more you can spend time being present in meditation, the more what you get to do is you get to respond instead of react. When you react, it's primal. When we're attacked, we defend. It's primal. But when you respond, when you respond from a place of knowing, you respond from a place of love, you can breathe and choose how you, rather than choosing to respond with anger. Even my physical voice, losing my voice, and it's a time of this change. For me, I'm feeling what the planet's going through. I'm going through my own physical change. And there was a part of me, and just so you know, I'm recording this on Sunday night, and I'm gonna on the 4th. I'm gonna post it on the 5th. There was a part of me that was like, maybe I should just not release an episode this week. And I don't know, this message felt like it needed to come out, and voice or no voice, my choice, my decision with my guides and the universe is to keep showing up. I don't know what that means. It just means, keep showing up for this podcast. If I feel like I need to visit an event or do an event or, obviously guiding my clients, I'm going to just keep showing up. I don't know what the long term holds, but in the short term, keep showing up. Whatever way I feel, keep showing up. And that's maybe a good thing to learn. And it's like through this phase, through these next 12 months, I do feel a lot of our lives are going to change. I do feel a lot of relationships will come to an end, maybe. Maybe our careers, maybe where we live. But again, I wouldn't plan any of that right now. I would wait. I'd be present. 2026 is going to require a different approach. 2025 was all about closing cycles, intensity. We went through so much in a week, and we didn't have time to integrate. It was so many closing. I feel like 2020, this new energy, because I don't calendar years, but I feel like this new energy is going to require us to be more present, to trust our intuition, even more than we already have. Being honest with ourselves, speaking our truth, shining our light, being seen, merging worlds. How we do one thing is how we do everything. I don't, it's like 2025 in many ways. For a lot of people, it felt isolating, it felt lonely. I feel like the energy we're moving into, you can't hide anymore. If you're running from yourself, if you don't like spending time with yourself, then that means that there's something ready for you to heal inside. If you don't like spending time with you on your own, then why is anyone else going to want to spend time with you? So get used to spending time with you. Get used to falling in love with you. You're a powerful being. Every soul that's here right now chose to be here. and is needed and wanted. So you being seen, you doing what lights up your soul is also going to help up the planet. Energetically, it helps the planet. And like I said, we're going to shift into a phase of community. And another thing I want to mention is AI. AI is going to assist us. There is a but AI will be whatever you want it to be. So, for example, if you feel like AI is going to take your job, if that's what maybe you manifest that, but AI can walk alongside us. And the other thing is, I see a lot of people using AI to channel. So I feel like AI, and this is a difficult one, I guess, but I feel like AI can be an extension of you, can be an extension of your channel, but it doesn't replace doing the internal work. It doesn't replace going in, connecting with your inner child and doing the work and releasing the things you're holding on to. Yes, you can use it as to ask questions and whatever, but the first place you should always look for answers is inside. Yes, you can use AI to support, but spiritually, I'd be very careful. I mean, you can, as an example, ask your guys to talk to you through AI, but it shouldn't replace you doing the internal work. It shouldn't replace you spending time in meditation, spending time in listening to you, connecting with your guides, connecting with their records, as an example. That comes from inside, and you can't replace that with something else. And if you give your power away to AI, and you're always asking AI, and or your horoscopes or whatever else you're looking externally, they should be an addition to your intuition. They should be an addition to, not a replacement. So just again, my view, my 2 cents. Whatever you believe is your truth. This is my truth. I feel like AI can assist us, but it should never replace your essence, your soul. And I feel like there's going to be more and more, kind of how people are showing up on social media. Are they being authentic? Are they using AI? I feel like more and more of that's going to, and to the music industry as an example, how is it going to affect? It is going to change things. But where I feel we've got to be careful is not to lose our humanity. So embrace it, but don't let it replace the things that are important. And it is shifting things, right? It is speeding things up. It is allowing us to learn more quicker. So yes, it can accelerate our journey. But again, I repeat, it can't replace doing the work. It can't replace your intuition, your connection with your guides. It can't. That energy, that vibration has to come from your heart, your soul. But again, just my 2 cents. The shifting into divine feminine is all about the heart. It's all about trusting your intuition. It's all about community, finding loving communities. It's all about letting go of the people where you have to dim your energy. It's about finding your soul family, a group of people that lift you up. And that can be online, that can be in person. But you also have to create a space for new things, for new members of your soul family. Maybe you already have a beautiful soul family who lift you up, who let you hold your space. That's beautiful. But if you don't, then you have to create space for it. And that's what this time is. 2026 is going to continue to feel intense. It's going to continue to feel like a lot's going on. When I tap into the energy of it, I can feel the energy of things shifting. I can feel the energy of this phase. But it's almost like they only show, for my guides, for me, they're showing a lot of things shifting, but they only give you glimpses of it. So this is my take energetically on what's coming. I wish I could tell you, kind of more detail. The human wants to know. Excuse me, but not sorry, right? That's my cough. It is what it is. But the human wants to know, right? All of you internally can feel things changing, and want to know what it is. But this is the thing. All we've been asked to do is trust. Is take a leap of faith and trust whatever's coming next. What if you're not meant to know? What if this is a leap of faith? This is about alignment, not urgency. We love a plan, but being present in doing what's in your highest. And sometimes that is, by the way, do nothing. That is sometimes spending time in nature, being present, and allowing this phase, this phase of completion to go through you. Because again, if you're holding on to things, then March spring equinox changes the vibration around us. But if you've still got work to do and you're holding on to the old version of yourself, you can't bypass that stage. This is what I'm saying. It's not an option just to wait. Universe, your guides won't let you do that. So if you are going through something, and if you need to stop and just check inside. What are you holding on to? What are you ready to let go of? A lot of people worry about their purpose, their destiny, and this isn't the energy we're in right now. It's not about, it's just about being present in who you are. What if your purpose is, my purpose is I want to connect with you, I want to leave them better than I found them. It allows me to do whatever I want. It's not. We look for this one thing, this one destiny, this one purpose. Once I know what it is, everything will be easier. What makes you think you only need to here to do one thing on the planet? What if your purpose right now is to shine your light? The thing is that, look, you're a soul having a human experience. This phase right now, and it's all about having the human experience, being present in whatever you're going through. Why do we want to wait? It's like, why would you even want to say, you know what, I'm going to wait for the spring equinox, then I'll feel the new energy and all that sort of stuff. You're a soul having a human experience. So it's all about the experience. It's not about what's coming next. It's about what are you experiencing now? What are you learning from this phase? What are you changing your question and asking, what is this phase teaching me? What do I need to learn from it? And once you integrate that, that's what brings a shift. Because the first stage for me, any kind of shift is becoming aware. How do you become aware? You change your question. How is it serving me? What am I learning from this phase? And then the next phase is acceptance. Once you start to learn more about you with those questions and you start to become more aware of who you are, then you have to accept it. And it's about connecting with your soul. You're a powerful soul. You're a being that's meant to be here. I truly believe any soul that's here right now is meant to be here, is needed and wanted. So trust in your energy, trust in your vibration. Yeah, continue the spiritual journey. If there's any modalities that appeal to you, I'm sure learn them, like Reiki, Akasha Records, whatever that may be, then. But again, what's your intention? If your intention is to be fixed, then that's the wrong thing to do. If your intention is to learn and grow, then great. But these modalities are not here to define who you are. They're here to give you abilities that you can use to heal yourself and heal others. But your gift, your light, your energy, your vibration, that's who you are. And I know in this episode I'm kind of going, and I really feel like it's being channeled, but it's a time to fall in love with you. It's a time to get to know you. I feel like we're so hard on ourselves. We've been through so much. What if it's okay to take a bit of downtime, a bit of integration time? I feel like, what we want, all of us becoming leaders, shining our light. I feel like leadership in 2026 will be quiet. It's not about the ego. And it's all going to be a co-creation. I feel it's more about collaborating, finding communities, people to collaborate with. That's one of my objectives for moving forward. Again, I'm not a New Year's resolution type of guy, but I do want to collaborate with more people. I want to spend more time with people in person. I do a lot of my work on Zoom, etc. But I want to do more events, etc., etc. I love the one-to-one work I get to do. So if you're feeling like you need that one-to-one guidance, I love doing that work. It's only a limited number of people I can work with. But again, I love doing it. But what do you love doing? And what can you do that's going to lift your soul? And I feel like we're going to be drawn to people. Previously, it's all been about whoever speaks the loudest, whoever's the most followers, or whatever that looks like. But I feel like we're going to be drawn to people who are more grounded, more real, more authentic. And you're seeing some of that already. A lot of people are being found out. So it's not about having the loudest voice or being the most followed. It's about being raw, authentic. You are who you are. I could have quite easily. I'm glad my voice survived, but there's times when I actually started a couple of times. I'm like, wait, hold on, where's my voice gone? And I stopped recording, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to jump in. Keep moving forward, one small step at a time. Do one thing today that's going to lift your vibration. And really, this phase, the 2026, whatever you want to call it, is going to be an invitation to live from within, to trust you on the inside, to let life respond to you, and to know that everything in your external world is a result of something in your internal world. And looking internal for the answers, not outside. You're a powerful channel. And the other thing is, comparison is the worst thing to do. It's like, I have so many conversations with my clients about connecting with their guides. And a lot of the time people get frustrated because they don't see things or they don't hear things like other people do. However you connect with your guides is unique to you. And a lot of the time you start with feeling their energy, their vibration. You don't always get names. You don't always see things in the beginning. But however you connect with your guides is perfect for you. But the more you stay present, the more time you spend in nature, the more time you meditate. And by the way, I'm not telling you to spend 10 hours on top of a mountain meditating. If that's what you feel called to do that. But that's not actually what I'm telling you to do. It's balance. Spending time with you, spending time in meditation. I like to do an hour a day, but if I can only do 10 minutes, that's fine too. I like to switch it up between guided meditations and being in silence. For me, guided meditations take me on a journey to go deeper into my psyche, whereas silence is training my mind to be more quiet so I can listen to my heart and soul. So both are important. But be gentle with yourself. Be kind. Listen to your intuition. Your intuition is normally quieter, gentler. Your ego is very loud. But trust you. What's your intuition telling you? When you meet somebody, that's what I'm saying about creating new communities and new soul family. When you meet somebody, how do they make you feel? You'll know when you meet somebody if they're meant to be in your world, if they're meant to expand you, if you have a soul contract, if you trust your intuition. So this is a phase where it's really all about trusting you. And I guess, when I started this episode, part of me was like, I really want to give an insight into the whole year. And I'm sure I've done some of that. But for me, it's not about calendar years. This is kind of where I struggle. But I do feel the energy and the vibration is shifting like we would never before. But I'm not scared. I'm excited. I feel like my soul's worked so hard to be here. Been through so much, so many lifetimes, released so much karma. Because that's the other thing. In 2025, we had to release so much karma. But now it's a time for you. Now it's a time for you to be conscious. I feel like, a lot of people talk about we're closing a cycle. I do feel like we're closing an 8-year cycle, a cycle that began in 2018, 2019, or maybe potentially 2012. And for me, from 2018, it's been more human, more internal, more, that we had to release a lot of karma. We had to go through a lot of human experiences. Always remember, if you've lost friends, you haven't really lost them. It's the universe clearing your path because they weren't aligned anymore. If you've changed careers or if something that was near and dear to you and they're no longer part of your world, then again, it's something that had to happen. If you've lost loved ones, have you really lost them? Are you allowing them to be around you? Are you allowing their energy, their vibration to be around you? Of course, you want them here humanly. I'm not saying that. Grief is such a personal thing. But still allow those people that loved you on humanly to continue to watch and love over you in the other realms, in whatever form that makes sense to you. But this phase is all about you. It's all about love. Could it potentially be the biggest challenge we've been through? Maybe. Are you going to go through a conflict of internal versus external? Part of you is going to want to focus on the external. You're going to have people like me kind of asking you to focus on the internal. Again, that's your choice. But I would encourage you to focus on the internal for obvious reasons. It's that focusing on things that you can change. But again, I remind you, you're needed, you're wanted. This is your time. How does that make you feel? And again, I'm sure there's some people listen to this and say, well, he's not really talking to me. No, I am. I'm talking to anyone that's listening. You're needed, you're wanted, your soul chose to be here. You've been through so much, you're a powerful being. Because that's the other thing that you've got to accept is you're not meant to belong. We've tried so hard to fit into this planet, to lead a program life. All of these structures of what a blood family should do, kind of the love of the mother, love of father. That doesn't always come from your blood family. You picked your blood family to expand you. As a soul, you picked your blood family to expand you. And I'm sure there's people here, it's like when I say you picked your blood family, they're like, there's no way I picked them. Are you crazy? What I mean is you picked them to expand you, to teach you something, for you to learn something. Not for you to love them or them to love you. Yes, if they do, that's a bonus. So when you pick your soul family, you can pick your divine family. Where do you feel the love of divine father? Where do you feel the love of divine mother, divine brother, divine sister? This is what I'm saying about looking for a soul family. They may not look like a mother or father. It's just an energy. You're important, you're needed, and you want it. And wherever you are is perfect. It's exactly where you're meant to be. Whatever's for you will find you. Whatever's not for you will miss you. But still do the self-care, still do the work, still put you first. It's a powerful time to be you. It's a powerful time to be here on this planet. It is also an expansive time. It's a learning time. But be gentle with yourself. If you feel like I can help you in any way, guide you on your journey, then reach out. Book a free discovery call. I have a beautiful membership where I'm really giving more insights into where I feel we are energetically. But my final message to you is you are powerhouse. Your light is needed. Focus on you and the inside. Be present. Look for inside for the answers, not outside. Sending you so much love and light. Bye for now.